So, when you look around modern cities, what do you see? Everywhere are big rectangular or square structures with sharp lines and large glass windows. They all look the same, and many are unattractive. But there's an alternative: organic architecture. Right. So, organic architecture is based on the ideas of nature. It is influenced by natural shapes, and to an organic designer, these buildings are more like an animal or a plant than wood or stone. Now, some organic architecture showed up in the 19th century, like the architecture of Antoni Gaudi of Barcelona. But the term organic architecture was created by American architect Frank Lloyd Wright in 1908. He believed buildings should fit into their environments naturally. He wanted the structure and function of his buildings to work well together. Wright's Fallingwater in rural Pennsylvania is built over a waterfall so you can hear the water inside the house. Large stones in the living room are a foot high to integrate the natural site in the building. Many people have complained that Wright's idea of organic architecture was unclear. So, where can we get a set of principles for organic architecture? Well, much later, the designer David Pearson wrote the Gaia Charter, a set of beliefs about organic architecture. Pearson's principle was that a building must adapt to the nature around it rather than change the land to fit the building. And by adapt, we mean that it should not disturb or harm the land in any way. In some cases, this meant that a building goes around the trees or flows like water down a hill, rather than leveling the land. Buildings should not be rigid, but have a feeling of mobility, of movement. Pearson said that buildings should have the spirit of music and dance in them. So, if an architect builds each structure to fit the land, each building will be unique, also important in organic architecture. Buildings should surprise people and show them something they've never seen. In addition, the function of buildings is to satisfy the social and spiritual needs of the people who use the building. So the shapes and colors of the buildings must be in harmony with the environment. Earth colors and gentle curves fit in with the land, and some houses look like hills or meadows, as surfaces may have grass on them or the walls are made of earth. Now we've said that organic buildings fit the land, they're influenced by ideas from nature, they're unique, and have a feeling of movement. So, where can you see organic architecture? The Sydney Opera House is one of the most famous examples, as it dominates Sydney Harbor with arches that look like giant seashells. Another example is Frank Gehry's Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain. The exterior curves of the building catch the light, and the interior is designed around a large atrium nicknamed the Flower because of its shape. And of course, you should experience Fallingwater, which I mentioned before. But if you can't go see any of these buildings, you can still search for photos of them on the internet.